For momentum, day A, y'all know I was gonna be filming this one because day A is always the one that has the most hopping. And we are not shying away from our weaknesses. We are trying to make them stronger. So this is gonna give you a really good idea of how not to hop. So I think the hopping is great. I just am not built to hop. That's all this is, okay? So for momentum day A, we're still sticking with those 1 minute AMRAPs. I think our members are really liking them. It also gives you all an opportunity to play around with the timing or add a little extra spice if you find a movement that you can add a little extra to. So we are riding that 1 minute AMRAP train. Our first 1 minute exercise is gonna be a lateral hop and a squat to calf raise. I'm gonna give you two different options for the squat to calf raise depending on the level of member that you have, right? Whether it's an advanced member versus a new member, and also other ways to challenge them as those weeks progress. Okay, so lateral hop. We're starting here, lateral hop. I can hop farther than that, I just want to stay in camera. And then you can change the feet position as they need to a squat. They can do that heel raise at the bottom, okay? Or they're squatting, standing tall to get that triple extension. They can even squat and then use the arms to come up. Lateral hop, squat, heel raise, lateral hop, squat, heel raise. Okay, so a couple different options with that one. Have fun with it. Let your members have fun with it. Again, adding a rep to each as you come back around for that whole 60 seconds. Minute 2 for our 1 minute AMRAPs. The exercises are gonna be a plank jack to kind of a reverse sprawl. So for the plank jack, standard is just moving the feet. I have gotten maybe a little crazy and I've given the option of people to also move the hands out too. Now that's for, again, our more advanced members. So choose your own adventure here. So for that plank jack, you're gonna have them start down in the plank. So I'm gonna demo 2, right? So we're here, feet are stepping out, sprawl, kind of reverse sprawl, because we're coming here, we're finishing at this point and then going back to that plank jack, okay? If you want to give them something extra, I have had people plank jack, also moving the arms, okay? I only do this for my advanced members and my advanced members that I know have good strength, have good control, and have no shoulder history, okay? So keep that in mind, or just have them move the feet and then add some extra spice as you go on. Always giving that option of one foot then the other if they aren't comfortable with doing that full plank jack. 3 is gonna be a tall kneeling march into a press out. So this is the one where they're gonna have some kind of weight, even if it's just for that press out motion. So for the tall kneel, if people have a hard time kneeling, you can offer them a cushion, or I'm gonna show you a standing option that you can give them instead. Okay, so what we're trying to get them to do here is really drive that leg straight forward, not lean away from it. So they are gonna have to kind of really drive that leg, okay? If they're not holding the weight the entire time, they then would pick up that weight, press out for 1 rep, okay? If they're gonna keep that weight hold, make sure again that they're not leaning that trunk as they find that march, bring it back down, march, oops, sorry, second march, 2 press outs, okay? We don't want to see a lot of this, right? Because that's going to work a different muscle group. So if people don't feel comfortable kneeling, or they don't feel like they have the mobility to get into that tall kneel march, you can have them bring that bell into that goblet position, again, holding more of the bell, slow and steady standing march, right? So they're working on that static stability and then finding their press out here, okay? What I don't want to see with that march is I don't want to see this. Okay, I want to see slow and controlled. Tell them that they want to pretend like there's a band around their feet as they hit that march. If they are still moving too fast, physically put the band around their feet, right? We want them to build that tension as they pull if they're using that standing march option. And same as the other minute AMRAPs, adding 1 rep to each exercise as you move forward. A right-left march is considered 1 rep. Last minute of our minute AMRAP round. So minute 4 is going to be an alternating reverse lunge into a burpee, my least favorite exercise. They're great. I just, at a certain point, I can't leave the ground anymore. So this is great for our members to build endurance and still trying to hit that jumping height. Okay, so for that alternating reverse lunge, they're coming into that reverse lunge. The depth is up to them, so when I'm in class, I tell them, look, this is a lunge, this is a lunge, this is a lunge, okay? So that allows them to control that depth. Alternating reverse lunge each side, hands go down, step back, jump tall, okay? Options to regress the burpee. They can come here and just shoot out, jump in, stand tall. They can put hands down, step out, step in, triple extension. Play around with that as much as you would like. If people don't feel good with that alternating reverse lunge, you could give them a standing march, even though we just did marching. So the other way that we can still kind of focus on glutes is give them a single leg RDL. Okay, so if I'm going 2 reps here, thinking about really dragging that toe so that we're hinging and bending at the hip, and then they would hit that burpee. Okay, so just giving them options. Sometimes knees don't love reverse lunging. It's just how they work sometimes. For speed and agility, we're gonna have some banded switch knee drives and some hurdle pogos. Okay, so for the banded switch knee drives, you're getting one of those loops, putting it around the feet. So again, this is kind of coupled nicely with that marching exercise from the 1-minute AMRAPs, whether they did tall, kneeling, or standing. So the way that I like to start this is I have one leg that's already up, and you're going quick, okay? Quick and speedy. We're athletes, okay? So we're starting here, okay? And then have them reset so that that other leg starts. So it's kind of like a 1, 2, 3, okay? So they're kind of driving off the ground to hit that knee drive. If they don't want to be higher impact on the ground, you can give them that banded standing march as an alternative. Again, trying to keep everything stable. We don't want them to like sway or go super fast, okay? For the pogo hops, your hurdles are gonna be a little bit closer together. So pogos are just feet together, and they are staying, so you can see a little bit closer, they are staying a little bit more neutral. So I am getting a little absorption in my knees, but I'm not squatting all the way down, right? I'm staying a little bit more stiff. So it's just the knees that are absorbing. We'll do that over hurdles. I am going to look down. Okay, so a little more stiff. If people don't feel comfortable over the hurdles, you can have them do just forward moving pogos, or you can have them just pogo in place. For our power block, we're doing broad jumps and kettlebell swings. These should marry nicely to each other because for that broad jump, you are gonna be a little bit more hingy versus full squat. So you're getting 2 power explosive movements. So for that broad jump, again, bringing it back to strength day A when we're talking about single arm swings, both arms are gonna move with them when they broad jump, right? So I'm here, jumping, okay? If you have enough space, you can just have them broad jumping forward, or you can broad jump forward, back pedal, broad jump, okay? If they are not jumping humans, which is totally fine, you're gonna have them drive down, triple extension all the way up, arms come overhead, okay? Drive down, triple extension all the way up, okay? As a refresher for that kettlebell swing, you're going 2 feet back. This is important, so we have space to generate momentum. The hike is the best, most important piece of the swing, in my opinion, because you have to get that energy. If you don't have the energy, the glutes aren't gonna send it back and find that nice tall swing, okay? So we're driving elbow pins forward, nice strong hike, kettlebell swing, let the belt push the hips back, front and tall, okay? The other thing we don't wanna see is at the top, don't let them throw their hips forward, okay? If you're locking out, quads should be tight, knees are extended. If you see anybody swinging like this, they are losing their glutes and their quads, okay? So they should be tall standing plank, driving the heels through the floor, trying to reach the head tall, stacked, okay? None of this business. For our strength block, we are starting with a weighted split squat. Weighted iso split squat hold. So for the weight portion, you can just have them pull up into a goblet. So nice, strong, dead, clean, split squat, okay? So again, for my people whose knees don't always love these, this is a split squat, this is a split squat, this is a split squat, okay? Ideally, they're gonna hold here, switch at that halfway point. Whoa. Making sure, this is an important piece to talk about feet, making sure that those feet are going straight back on train tracks, they're not coming in or too far out. Okay, we're finding our balance. Here we go, that's better. So again, ideally they're switching halfway. If they can't do that, you can always have them, okay, this week you're gonna start with a 5-breath hold on the right, switch to a 5-breath hold on the left, take a pause as you need, go right back in. Week 2, we're gonna do 8 breaths or 10 breaths or 12 breaths until they've gotten to that halfway point. If they want something a little bit more challenging than just the goblet hold, you can have them switch, right? So if you have 3 rounds, you can play around with the hold. So maybe we say, okay, all the isos the first time you're gonna stay on that right side. So now we're weighting the working leg. As you switch, we're weighting the opposite side. So that's a little bit more of a core challenge. Round 2, now we're weighting the left side. Okay? Now we get to weight the same side. Or you can have them go double bell. So usually when there's 3 rounds, I'll have them, first week I have them do a goblet hold. Second week I'm gonna have them go right side and then left side, round 1, round 2. Round 3, goblet. Week 3, double bell. We have so much fun adding weights, okay? So your second exercise for strength block, we're doing a double bell clean to overhead press. So with a double bell, swing clean. Double bell cleans as a dead clean, no bueno, because most people are not gonna generate enough momentum from the hips to make that a safe option for a double bell clean, okay? So 2 bells, you are going 2 feet back, right? We're creating space to generate momentum. Grab those bells, pack those shoulders, eyes stay forward. I'm gonna drive the bells up like I'm zipping up a jacket. My elbows are staying in tight. So if you were seeing me from the side and standing in front of me, right, I'm here, you could stand here and not get hit. Say that in class, don't actually do it, okay? So we're here, double bells, nice strong hike, zip up the jacket nice and strong. I always step in before my press, overhead press. Okay, you can take it to where we go double bell clean from that backswing right into an overhead press. Nice and strong, overhead press, okay? If you see people who are staying super wide and struggling with their press, as they clean, right? So I'm cleaning, rack, slide that foot in, hit the press. Step out, hit your clean, okay? Your press is gonna be stronger if you can stay stacked, because we can squeeze our butt, squeeze our quads, stay tall through the trunk, drive through the floor, hit that press, okay? Everything in kettlebells can be made better by squeezing your butt. That's just the reality of it. Okay, so for balance and body weight, we have a TRX figure 4 squat, and then we have a sort of transition from front squat, front plank, side plank, front plank, side plank. So for your figure 4 squat, basically the handles are going to be adjusted so that they feel supported in a single leg exercise. Okay, so this is for balance. The goal here is to have them cross over, which is actually going to make them feel more stable than just a straight single leg squat, because you're allowing them to have this little bit of a brace. Okay, I'm going to turn this piece here so you can see. Great, so we have a figure 4, and they're kind of squatting down and back. So with the figure 4, they are going to get a stretch in their butt from their piriformis. If somebody is too tight, you can have them cross that leg over here and then find that squat. You can have them just toe touch forward so that they're still biasing that single leg. Or if they're like, hey, I feel way too tight in my hips to do a figure 4, but I can just do a straight single leg, you can have them do a single leg squat, whether that leg goes forward or back, okay? So anybody who typically feels tight in the hip, preferably, I mean, not preferably, but anyone who complains of tightness back here is probably gonna be a little limited in this figure 4 range. If somebody is complaining to you of groin pain, this is something that actually might feel better to them, but make sure that they are trying to drive into those hip muscles to create that stability, okay? For your alternating front plank, side plank, ideally they're staying on the same, whether it's elbows for both or high plank for both. So you're gonna come here, so we go front plank, pivoting, equal stacked, front plank, pivoting, equal stacked, okay? I think elbows is gonna be a little bit harder to rotate, right? Because ideally your arms are gonna pivot forward, back to front, back to side, okay? Make sure that they are finding that stability point before they rotate, so tell them to hold it for equal amount of breaths before rotating through. So 2, 3, or 5 breaths, rotate through to the next one. Keep cycling through until that timer is up.